I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Ooh, ooh. What's up, Ken?
What's up, Ken? Hey, everybody, welcome back to Undeveloped. I am Ken, and this is my buddy Ken, and we're here to bring you Barbie, the 2023 movie. Directed by Greta Gerwig. She's directing this movie based on the classic Mattel line of toys, the Barbies, which have been around since the 60s, I believe. And of course, this movie goes in a very different direction than what you might be expecting, so you might want to think twice before letting your kids see this one. I don't know.
I mean, if you watch the trailers, you kind of already get what this movie's about. You know what I mean? And knowing the people behind this movie, like Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, I mean, these are like, you know, I'm like, if you watch their movies, like, you kind of know what they're gonna do with this kind of movie. And we're kind of in a whole like era of doing things like this, but we take an existing IP and just giving with already its own like preconceptions, and we kind of redirecting it onto himself and changing it up and showing you a new like way of thinking about these characters, like what we did for Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? Like we kind of changed the whole dynamic of that. You know what I mean? And we kind of made it more progressive and more modern. And like, so they kind of give it a treatment. It wasn't as vulgar as like Harley Quinn, but
oh no, definitely not that
extreme. It got the same kind of treatment, and it worked for Harley Quinn. So why not work for something like this?
Yeah, again, this is nowhere near as extreme as that. So don't let Harley Quinn be the tone setter, because that is like
It's more in concept, not like actual like execution. Like
it's definitely not a raunchy adult comedy.
Yeah, no,
not really. It has some jokes, but not like
it plays with it, but it's not. It's something that you can kind of bring your children to.
Yeah, like most kids will probably not get a lot more adult humor in this.
Head, but it's not like Harley Quinn, where it's like blatant sexual jokes, cussing, violence. You know what I mean? Like no, it's more about like existentialism. You know what I mean? Like existential crisis of faith. You know what I mean? Like also questioning just roles, and you know what I mean, like decide like what am I doing.
Like this life is about a whole bunch of people who have issues with their self-worth, their self-image, because they believe they all put themselves to an unreasonable standard. And that's like, I think that's a brilliant twist on the Barbie formula. What you could really do with a character like this.
Smart. It's smart, and honestly, this movie's also just very ripe for this kind of storytelling, because Barbie is so much holes to poke at.
Yeah.
Because things like this, what people thought about Barbie for like years, you know what I mean? Like, you know, with his views on like dolls and like race and gender, you know what I mean? Like, there's always been an existing problem with Barbie from jump, and dolls in general, you know what I mean? Like, so like it's good that the first thing he did was tackle those issues. Yeah. Honestly, you know what I mean? By giving us a diverse array of female Barbies that have like, you know what I mean, like
very
amazing
diverse.
amazing careers, you know what I mean, and not just simple like, you know what I mean, like I'm pretty and blonde, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah, like, you know?
Honestly, I'm glad you mentioned that, because one thing I feel like this movie did a fantastic job for me, because I'm not someone who ever had any real history of Barbie before. I was going to this is totally like mostly unfamiliar with it, other than it was a popular toy, but knowing that through this movie, I feel like I understand why the people who grew up with Barbie, why they like it, what they see in it. Like, I feel like this movie really understand, because this movie made an excellent point where even back when it first came out, it was presenting women in all these jobs that many of them couldn't even get at the time. Like, you couldn't have female lawyers or doctors way back then.
But he had Nobel winners.
Yeah, like that was practically unheard of back in the day. But here we may mock Barbie for being a quote bimbo, as even the movie itself was actually a joke. But in reality, Barbie could be argued as a feminist icon, and this movie tries to contextualize that in both senses, because Barbie means a whole lot of things to different people. Barbie can be anything, and that's why anybody can be Barbie, because Barbie can be anyone, and that's why people see themselves as her, and that's why people get attached to her.
Yeah, Barbie's an idea.
Yeah, like, I never understood that about Barbie as a character or a concept before this movie. I feel really grateful that this movie really explained that to me. They got the core appeal of the fandom to me as a person who's an outsider in this.
Very well said. Did your publicist help you form that opinion?
I wish I had a publicist. You kidding me?
It's not something that you'll say in a fucking talk show promoting this movie. Not a Barbie movie. It's not the Barbie cartoon you see on Nickelodeon. Like, this is like fucking. This is a movie that's definitely about, you know what I mean, more than what just simple is more than just that simple kind of like, you know what I mean. Like, this is something that this is a movie that uses Barbie.
Yeah.
but it's not really a Barbie movie. You know what I mean? So if you bring your child thinking you're gonna get a Barbie movie, it's kind of like that, but not really like that. It more questions the politics around that.
Yeah.
And the problematic stuff and how it correlates to the real world. Mm-hmm. That is what it explores. You know what I mean? It's definitely it's definitely pretty much, which I expected, comedic satire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And very, very funny comedic satire.
It tackles themes of toxic masculinity, patriarchy, you know what I mean? Equality, just coming of age, like, who am I? What is my purpose? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Humanity, you know what I mean? Existential is exactly what this movie is. Like, I've been doing one thing this way my entire existence. This is all I know, and now I'm changing pretty much everything about it just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes you question everything that you ever learned. You know what I mean? Like with Ken, like, discovering, like, wait, is something called patriarchy? This exists? Wait, men can be fucking men rule the world? What? And then he started questioning everything. He started questioning everything. Like why do Barbies run everything? Why can't I just run shit? You know
Why can't the Kens be in charge?
Be in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, Ken falls down a rabbit hole. He becomes Andrew Tate Stan.
You know what I mean? Yeah, honestly, he becomes red pill. He becomes red pill.
He becomes a tater tot.
And Margot Robbie goes through the same thing. She's experiencing crying for the first time, emotion. She thought she had it all. She thought she was perfect. Why do I want things to change? Everything is great, and that's also like a double meaning for like society. You know what I mean? Like, why do we need to change? Everything was just right. Why do we need change? No, we need change. It's important because things of life is like that. Everything is meant to change. Everything's meant to progress and everything's meant to progress in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of create their own problems and figure out their own problems in this movie. You know what I mean? But it doesn't get too like CW-ish in terms of like, oh yeah, men suck, women rule. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, it doesn't go that far at all.
It doesn't get like that, because that would have been distasteful. You know what I mean? They actually try to give you both sides. You know what I'm saying?
It's nuanced enough to be respectable, and I like that. It's very clear that the message they're going to is that, hey, sometimes women could contribute to men feeling bad about themselves, and that can fuel them to doing the horrible things that they do.
Yeah, and it's also cyclical. And vice versa. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's true. Women feeling that, you know what I mean, like they have to They have to like be everything all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they have to be impossibly perfect constantly.
Exactly.
Societal pressure that comes to them from men and other women.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say perfectly clear in the movie itself, so no need for us to repeat it, but it comes across true, and it is a very impactful part of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the core of the movie for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of great characters like Kate McKinnon's character, like the broken Barbie. She was always doing splits.
Weird Barbie. Yeah, I loved weird Barbie. She was great.
I mean, Kate McKinnon is always like she's definitely great. She's for SNL. My score for this is probably 88.
Personally, I'm going to have to give it higher. Like, I thought this movie was a gem. I really loved my time with this. Fuck it. I'm going to go as far as say this movie deserves 95. My opinion.
Wow, that's high. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, I thoroughly loved my time in this movie. It was just so fun. It was fun. It was meaningful. It was enjoyment. It got me to be invested and really appreciate what Barbie actually is to a lot of people.
I mean, I think personally it could have explored a little bit more, like in the real world and the real contrast, between the Barbie and the real world. Even though I mean, I don't think the movie like lives and dies from that idea. I just would have. Me personally, I just would have I would like to see more of that. Her really exploring, like, seeing other women in that reality and what really has become of the, you know what I mean, like you know what I mean, just like because the one scene with her and the daughter was like gold, you know what I mean. So like I kind of want to explore that a little more, like really see women's effect in society. Maybe a woman that has power in society, her, you know what I mean, like there's more interaction, you know what I mean, in the real world. I can't see anyone watching this and saying, oh, this fucking sucks, you know what I mean? Unless you just don't like movies, you know. Unless comedy or anything like that is not really your bag, like. Or
unless you're like super diehard right side to bar, like, no, anything prevents in the good light, that's bad.
If you're Andrew Tate, you probably would hate this movie to its core.
Yeah. If you're like that guy, then yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, make sure you support good movies in theaters. Go see this movie in theaters. It's absolutely worth it. Also, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all of our new videos, including our reviews, reactions, all the other stuff we're putting out. See you next time.
See you guys.